Hey, welcome back, guitar players, rock players, blues players, lookers, and watchers. Let's take a look tonight at some really simple type of rhythm geared towards more the beginner, intermediate, even advanced that you can use it too. But we're going to standard tuning. Here's my A string to tune up to, right? Or tune down to. So there's your A. It's going to be around the E major chord, E, what I call E major, in a natural position up towards it at the nut. Right? So that's how we're at. I'm playing the P90 equipped Les Paul Jr. and I got a little bit of delay going for my sound. I like the sound of that. And so with that, let's take a look at how we can go. Really simple, sounds really cool though, right? So open E, 3rd fret E string, 2nd fret D string. Two positions pretty much, right? Two positions, two fingers. E, open, 3rd, D, 2nd, back to E, 3rd, open. Now you can add to that a little bit, right? Open. I'm plucking, I'm pulling off on that 2nd fret on the D string. It gives it more of a little bit more like an aggressive attack, maybe, right? But just for sake of what I'm playing, I like to. And it's all how you palm mute it on your, especially on your big E string. I'm palm muting, right? I'm picking down, not really aggressive. If you want to get a good aggressive sound, I tell all the beginner players, make sure the point of your pick is pointed towards your guitar body, right? It digs into the strings a little bit more. If you want to pick a little faster, point your pick back towards your bridge a little bit, right? So you're hitting the side of the pick with the tip, but more the side. It's a little bit less friction. It doesn't dig in. It skips over the string a little bit better. But I like that aggressive type of attack for something like this. Even if I palm mute it, I like to hit it kind of aggressively. Work on your sound level too. Bring it down, bring it up. That's the dynamics of the song, right? That's what we refer to in the band is our dynamics, right? When you're hitting that D string on the 2nd fret, give it a little vibrato, a little shake, not nothing excessive, right? Nothing like that, nothing like half step or full step up, but just a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle. And when you're hitting back on that E string, 3rd fret and the G note, right? Pull it. Not just, you don't want it to sound, that's your notes, right? But you want to embellish them a little bit, build them a little bit. That's just a cool type of E, A rhythm, right? Right? Kind of like a, man, anybody from Muddy Waters to hell, AC/DC type of chord structure there. It's your 1 and your 4 out of your 1, 4, 5. Go back a couple videos back in my playlist, and I have a video explaining 1, 4, 5 positions, how you establish those, right? From your rooted note to your 4th position and your 5th position on that, right? But for the sake of this video, it's just pretty much 1 and 4. Could be wrong in that. Some people are gonna disagree with that. That's how I call it. You know, I'm not a music theory expert or anything, but that's how I call it out. So that's a nice little chunky type of rhythm for a beginner to really learn and build on, right? Make sure your timing is paramount when you're playing guitar. A lot of people ask me, what's the most important thing when you're learning guitar? Timing, musical timing. You want everything boom, 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 right? Played perfectly or skipped perfectly, but it has to fall in time. Just like a ticking clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to fall in time. So with that, that's one way to play that, right? Another type of cool bluesy pattern, 2 chords, right? 2 fingers. I play with dexterity issues, so I'm going to use 2 fingers on this, right? I'm going to use just my middle finger. You may every now and then see me support it with an index finger. If I use my ring finger, I'll support it with my middle finger. Whatever it takes, just to make sure that you play comfortable to your ability, and you don't want it to hurt. You want to enjoy playing guitar. You want to enjoy music. That's the whole point about it, right? So it's just E, 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 A, E, 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 A. Now, when I'm hitting that A, I'm pulling off, right? And right there, I'm actually hammering on open strings. I'm hitting them open, right? So it's your E chord, E power chord, right, in the natural position. It's just A, D strings and your E string, and then you're hitting for your open, before you hammer onto the A, I'm hitting my D, G, and B string. And then I'm making an A chord, which is barring them 3 strings, your D, G, and B string at the 2nd fret, right? Now, I cock my hand because I have a hard time holding my shoulder in because old joints, right? But the straighter you keep it to your fret, right? The straighter you keep it to your fret, the less it's going to pull the string out of tune. Especially with this is a cheaper guitar, but especially with a nut that's not fanned, where the strings go through straight and then they go to the tuning pegs on an angle. So usually I'll take a nut like this and I'll fan the slots a little bit, where when it goes through, it points towards the tuning peg. Less chance of it pulling and dragging and actually throwing it out of tune. We can talk about that later, right? Nice and simple on that one too. Cool little beginner run, right? It just I'm on my G string and B string, going from 4-3. I'm sliding up to 4 and 3, and I'm picking. Sliding down the 2nd fret on the G string, open on the G, and then 2nd on the D string, right? really simple. You can't play it fast. Play it slow, and just to get till you build your muscle memory up on that. Now, when you come into that, I'm coming into it off my A chord, right? Because that's what sounds appropriate for that type of rhythm and run. So I'm replacing that E with that, right? And I'm E and A, I'm doing one, call it one measure, right? 4 notes, 4 beats with that run. Practice that. That's another building block for younger players, inexperienced players, newer players, or if you just want to add something different to your repertoire. So another cool thing would be that run right there. Really simple. Open E, 3rd fret B string, open B, 3rd fret G string, pull off to the 2nd fret, open on your G string, and then 2nd fret on your D string. I'm using my middle finger and ring finger. Use whatever fingers are comfortable for you, and just play it to your ability. Play it slow. Slowly build up your speed over time, right? So we learned that. We went over that. We're going to continue to play it so we learn it better. And then we did this. And we learned this little run, lick, riff, whatever you want to call it. I always called them a run, right? I was raised on bluegrass, and everything was a run in bluegrass. Learned that, and then we learned it. So there's a couple different things we learned that I showed you how I play them in a short amount of time that I want you to take and build on and use it to your advantage. Play it slow, play it in time. Timing's paramount in anything in music, right? So with that, guys, music is medicine for the mind, body, and soul. Don't ever forget that. Because someday the only relief we're going to have is in the shade of a tombstone. You know what I mean by that. So get your guitars out, tune up, play, have fun, stay bluesy, rock on. See you later.